Welcome, collectors and diecast enthusiasts. Thank you for choosing to waste some of your precious time with me for another diecast review. Now, long-term viewers and patrons of this channel will know that several years ago I did a very quick and brief unboxing and review of this model. However, it really wasn't up to my standards of today, and many of you since in that video's comment section have asked for that video to be reshot and redone. So now while I am waiting for some new products to come in, I have a little bit of time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin the review. So for anyone who is new, Sword is Chuck's Sword of DHS Diecast in Berea, Ohio. Similar to Buffalo Road Imports, if you have never been to DHS Diecast, make it a point on your bucket list to do so. Every year they hold an open house and auction, so if you can align that with your schedule, you are highly encouraged to do so. I myself have been there a couple times. Great people. You see some fantastic models, some hard-to-find models, particularly in the auction, and also, most importantly, you get to network with fellow collectors as well. Okay, back to this model. So, as you can see, it says Sword Precision Scale Models, 150 scale, Peterbilt 357 day cab with East Dump Trailer. Now, Sword Models technically is still around, however, they have not put out a new release in several years. This model has long been discontinued, so it's very hard to find. Here's what the bottom of the box looks like for those that may be interested. Here is DHS's information. That's DHS with an apostrophe after the S. 107 Carl Street, Berea, Ohio. Their phone number, their website. I'm not sure if the Sword Models website is still active. And you can see here's all the licensing information for both Pete and East Dump Trailers. All right, let's get this thing open. In more recent times, the dump trailer casting that you're about to see was recycled and reused by WSI for the CAT CT680 sets. So they're not impossible to find, but certainly they are pretty up there in terms of value. And they're all highly desirable for collectors. So the model comes between these two polystyrene formers, which are idiotly marked and idiot-proof. Top and bottom should be a clue for most of us. Carefully lift the top portion off. There are three main components inside the styrofoam. First is a bag containing some parts, mostly mirrors, air horns for the tractor. Speaking of the tractor, here it is. Here's our wonderful Peterbilt in red. And, of course, we have our dump trailer. Okay, before we start with the trailer, let's begin with the Peterbilt 357 tractor. So these were released in a number of different color combinations. This is obviously the red version, and these Sword trucks really set the standard for the next 10 to 15 years across the whole model industry on what would be expected out of 150th scale high-quality replicas. And what I mean by that, of course, is working steering, which this truck has, obviously, opening hoods with extremely detailed mechanical components seen underneath. We can zoom in here and you can see all of the different mechanical components, all the different colors, which are replicated quite well. The realistic tread pattern on each of the wheels, also very, very impressive. Opening doors on both sides of the trucks with, as you can see, detailed interiors, which again, it's all black, so it's a little bit harder to see on camera. All right, moving our way down. You have your coiled lines, your air, your brake, lights, all that stuff. There are three, and it's hard to do on camera, so for time's sake, I'm not going to do it, but these plug into three holes on the trailer. I'll show you where they go. You have a moving fifth wheel, which slides to accommodate trailers from other manufacturers. Again, you see that now on Diecast Masters trucks, but this again was an industry first back in the day. You have your mechanism here to lock and unlock your connection to the fifth wheel from the kingpin on the trailer. Moving along, you have your Peterbilt rubber mud flaps, flexible, so they look the part. They're pretty convincing. License plate, which tells you the year that this model was released, Sword and '07 for 2007. Beautiful diamond plating texturing all throughout. I don't believe that this truck came with this headache rack. I purchased this set. I don't know if I said that in the introduction. I purchased my set secondhand from another collector's. I believe he added this headache rack. I could be wrong, but if memory serves me correct, I believe he added this secondhand. All right, coming along to the right side, you can see that I have added the mirrors out of the bag of parts. The air horns as well have been affixed to the truck. And you have your exhaust over here on the right side. Your boxes as well, your tanks, everything just looks first class on the Sword tractor. That's the tractor. Let's turn our attention now to the trailer. So, it wasn't a mistake when I said that this is, without question, the best 1/50th scale dump trailer you can get on the market. And the reason I say that is twofold. One, for aesthetics, the way it looks, the way it poses with other pieces of equipment and trucks. And secondly, its functionality. This trailer has a ton of functionality chalked into it. Obviously, the wheels will roll. You can adjust the height of the landing legs, so if you wanted this trailer standing by itself, it will actually drop more than it is right now, or you can completely do them up if you have it hooked behind the tractor. But first things first that you want to see out of any dump trailer is just how well the dumping height is. And as you can see, helped along by these multi-stage cylinders, these are metal by the way, you can get a very realistic dump height out of this trailer. Turning around to our tailgate, now, here's where things get really cool. So this tailgate will open conventionally. So it will swing open like this. However, because I have taken one of the pins out that are supplied, it will also swing open to one side. So you can open it like you would see a lot of these dump trailers in the Midwest with the side opening capability that they have. Putting this back down, you can see at the back of the trailer, if you look really close here, you have what I like to call a little asphalt dispensing chute. If you do this very carefully, you can open this up where you can have a little figure with a shovel taking a little piece of asphalt to do some patchwork out of the little hole that opens up there. Okay, let's put this back down, lock it into place. You can see at the top of the trailer as well, you have these simulated board extensions. These are actually plastic board extensions made to look the part. They are wooden. Again, phenomenal. Looks absolutely incredible. All of your decal work along this trailer, again, first class, first rate. So you have East all over the trailer. You have warning labels. Check this out. You even have a little cleanup shovel right here. No detail has been overlooked. You have your DOT striping and lights, reflectors all throughout the trailer's length. You can see those there. Same rubberized mud flaps that are on the truck. Even tiny little chains. Just, because. Details, details, details. They are critical. And Sword has to be commended for having the foresight to include these. We're talking almost 15 years ago, and that's really what set these models apart. But the last working feature that I really like on these trailers is you have a fully functional, working, deployable tarp. There's what the bed looks like now. But you can fully deploy the tarp, which again is made with a fabric-like material, to simulate that it's this tarpaulin-like material that you would see on these dump trailers. When you are done, you see this little hand crank here? That's how you wind it back up. Very quickly, you just crank it back, and then your tarp is right back where it should be. So that will conclude my review of the Sword 1/50 scale Peterbilt 357 day cab with the East dump trailer. If you are a collector of 1/50th scale trucks and or you're a collector of 1/50th scale construction equipment, this by far is one of the vehicles that you need to add to your collection. A couple of things you need to be aware of with these models is that a lot of the airlines can get tangled, so make sure you look out for that. Also, as you just saw when I picked up this truck, I don't glue my mirrors in or my horns in. So if you want to do that, you can do that to your model. I never encourage you to do that. A good halfway point is to take some modeling putty and just put a tad bit, little dab will do you, on each side. That way it'll help the mirror stay in so that they're not constantly coming out. But again, if you're putting this on a display shelf or in a curio cabinet, for example, display cabinet, you're not going to really be messing around with this truck too much, so it doesn't matter. Again, to join the two together, you simply hold this lock back, slide your kingpin into your fifth wheel. They should join up just fine. Now to put these connecting lines into the trailer, again, I'm not going to do it because we're already at 10 minutes on this video, but I will show you where they go. If you look on this trailer, there are 3 holes. Again, it's black, it's hard to see, but 1, 2, and 3, that's where your lines would plug in. Again, no particular order, really just put any of the colors in that you want. That would give it that realistic look to it. Finally, before we sign off, let's bring in a 1/50th scale wheel loader just to show you what it would look like loading one of these trucks. So in this case, I have a Diecast Masters Cat 980K cat wheel loader. We'll bring him in, bring him along to the back side of the truck, and with these, he has no problem getting over the side and loading it into the truck. As always, I am Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you guys think of this model down in the comments section below? Do you have one in your collection? Would you like to add one in your collection? And the second question I have for you guys, do you want to see Sword come back and be more relevant in the model community? Would you continue to pay relatively high prices for first-class models by them? And what specifically do you want to see them release? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next review.